Thank you everyone for being here again for our presentation of server-side chat. Lua Playtime, cracking the 1 billion round challenge with Felipe Flores. Round of applause, please.
Well, thanks everybody for this warm welcome. So we're gonna have a little bit of fun with the 1 billion road challenge. We'll explain shortly what it is. First, let me introduce myself. Who am I? I'm Felipe Flores. I'm from Brazil. I've been living here in the Netherlands for almost 4 years now. I'm a software engineer at the Bol. Proudly hold the Cloud Architect certification, which I like a lot from the GCP. Not very common. Usually people like more Azure or AWS. I heard that. And I really love comics and code, and of course my family most of all. Which I have a small. I just got a daughter. She's 2 months old now. So my son over here is already almost 3. So this is my family. That's me. Let's go to the things that matter, for you at least. So, quick check. Who knows what the 1 billion row challenge is? Okay, that's interesting. So let me show you then. So, end of 2023, a guy that worked is called Gunnar. Worked as a leader in division something. He proposed this challenge, which is basically it's a really actually cool and simple challenge. Maybe showing the images better. So the idea is you get a file, a huge file that has 1 billion rows, has the name. It has a really simple structure, which has a station and a temperature, so a station who collects the temperature. The idea of the challenge is just that you, process everything, and at the end, you put some, with your Java program. That's important, because it was in the Java community. And then at the end, you output your calculations. The calculations are really simple. It's just you have the minimum, the average, and the maximum temperature. So nothing really complex. The complex part is how to make that fast, and that's actually the challenge. Like, how fast can you actually make it? Let's go back here a little bit. So it has a lot of submissions. So it was open until the start of 2024. There was a competition. It was a challenge. And the Java community actually got this processed in 1.5 seconds, which is quite a lot, or quite low actually. But they have a really big server to run it. So this is the challenge. It has a little bit of rules. You can have just one file, one script to where your program will run. You cannot use external libraries, so you have to do everything yourself. Or, of course, changing information with the community and everything. And that's basically it. So, let's go back to the thing. Well, I'm actually most of the time a Java Kotlin programmer, but I've been around to a lot of languages, and I was looking for a new one. Who here knows of Lua? Who here has programmed something in Lua? Oh, that's more than I expected. Who here uses Lua normally in a... Cool, nice, I'm not alone. For those who doesn't know, Lua is a scripting language. Was created and maintained by a Brazilian university. in Rio de Janeiro. It's a really stable language, doesn't have a lot of features, like just, that's actually the core of the thing. It's like, doesn't have too many features, like really small, supposed to be portable, because whenever you have an ANSI C compiler, it runs. It's embeddable because the entire Lua language file, the runtime, is a C file of 30,000 lines, and it runs, it occupies like 300 kilobytes. So it's like really small, and you can embed everywhere. And the thing for me, it's a simple language, doesn't have too many features. I chose it, totally personal. If you disagree, it's also fine. I used to program in Python and JavaScript. And every day there's a new thing in JavaScript, or every other day there's a new way of formatting stuff in Python. And I was, oh no, I don't want, I just want something simple to, I don't know, run whatever script I have, or crazy idea that I want to test real quick. And there's something of guilt actually, because I'm Brazilian and Lua is a Brazilian language, and I was kind of ashamed that I didn't know it. Yeah, also personal. And then then I took the challenge. Like, yeah, let's see how quick can I make this in a really small language that doesn't have a lot of features, and so that was the challenge. I think nothing fairer, that's a word, than show code at first. So if you don't know Lua, I have to say that you will know now, and don't be afraid, because it's like the simplest thing ever. So let's maybe make it a little bit. So I did a version 1. So what's the simplest thing you can think of that to process this billion row file? So I start with a main, right? Like I just need the file name or the file path, read, do some aggregations, then format into the, I call it Java map because it's the hash map. For those who program in Java, when you do a toString and a hash map, it has a format. That was the format of the challenge, the output. So we have to keep that in mind. And well, don't mind the locals. You will ignore this pretty soon. So it doesn't have a lot to do. So I get the file, I read the lines, I get the station, the measurement. Of course, it's a string, so I have to transform into a number. We'll create a record where I do some aggregations. If it's not there, I'll create a record, of course, initialize it. If you didn't get this part, to do an average, you don't have to have everything, so you can just get the sum and the count and do the division at the end. So you don't have to have a lot of memory to do that. And the most stupid code ever, like if it's less than a mean, then this is the mean. If it's more than max, then that's the max. Sum, count, that's it. So that's pretty understandable, right? Everybody's with me? Okay, I'll speed up a little. This is not really important, it's just a bunch of fiddling around with the statistics to do the output in the correct way. So not really important. Oh, one thing that is important is it needed to be sorted. But yeah, doesn't matter that much. The important part was the aggregation. So I have a pretty good laptop. It's a Mac Pro Max M2, 64 gigabytes of RAM and a fast SSD. Anybody has a guess how much time does it take for this algorithm to run? Like more than a minute. fair, right? More than 5 minutes, more than 10 minutes. So, yeah, first try, let's establish a baseline. Actually, 8.5 minutes. That was okay, right? A billion rows. If you do that in your job, you say that to your manager, and that's okay. It's a billion rows. So a minute, 8 minutes. Anybody has a guess? Wow, how can you make it better? Well, I was reading line by line, right? So every time that so yeah, part of my design, because I'm not a designer, as you can see, but just to explain a little bit, every time that I have to read something, well, at first I open a file. So open a file is like it's kind of like open a connection to a database. So you have to communicate to the OS, get the file descriptor. So it will check your permissions if you have permission to open or read a file or whatever. After that, every time that you have to read a line, it will have to take something from your hard drive or the SSD. If you know how a file looks in an SSD, is like just a blob with a bunch of bytes. So if anytime you say like read a line, what does it do? It doesn't have a liner marker on the hard drive. So what it does, it takes a bunch of those blob. You have to look for a break line, and then yeah, that's then a line. And then whatever it reads, it stores in a buffer. So when you have read in the next line, it will do the same thing again. Well, an easy way to think of, as again, I have 64 gigabytes of RAM. The file has 13 gigabytes, so it's not a really big file. So it fits in memory. So just copy everything to the RAM. How does that improve? Let's take the version 2. Didn't change much. So instead of one function, I just read the file, the entire content, and do the aggregation. So reading the file is not really interesting. The aggregation didn't change much. So instead of looping the lines and getting each line, I already have the content. Where I doing some pattern matching. It's not. It kind of looks like a regex, but it's not a regex because Lua doesn't have enough space for a regex. So it's just a reduced function. So yeah, that's basically the change. The rest is exactly the same. Again. How much do you guys this improve the time?
2 minutes, 4 minutes.
Oh, okay, let's talk percentages, like 50% more. 20? Yeah, that's kind of a good guess. So yeah, it turned out to 6 minutes. So if you remember, Java was like 1.5 seconds, so I was like pretty bummed. So yeah, what can I do better now? And that's one thing interesting is like, although I'm moving the entire file to the memory, it doesn't do in a single step because it has a lot of. It still needs to pick pieces to move it to the memory, and of course the memory itself needs to be allocated. So that explains quite why it improves, but not that much, not as much as I expected. I expected something like 50% at least. But yeah, kind of bummed. So I was thinking like, yeah, version 3, what can I do better? If you remember the slice of code, it was like storing everything to a small hash map, maybe like this. So every time that I have to to access something in a hash map, I have to calculate a hash, right? So that's how the hash map functions. So you have something in memory. So if I want to get the key America, I'll do some hashing, figure out where it is, and then the hash will output like 3 in this case, and I get the Statue of Liberty. So if I can eliminate this hashing, so I could save quite a lot, at least I thought. So because I have like 4 keys, so 1 billion rows, 4 billion hashes less. Well, I will just show how much faster did it get. So yeah, 10 seconds. Like 4 billion hashes in 10 seconds. That's just, I was like, that bumped me a lot. So I didn't know where to run. So I knew that Lua has a JIT compiler. So, and it's supposed to just take the script, put in the JIT compiler, or run it with a JIT compiler, and then it's faster. I'll show you. Oh, by the way, this image is AI generated. The Lua JIT doesn't have an icon. So anyway, yeah, let me show you. So just take my version 3 here. Like do Lua JIT version 3. Oh, and it does not have enough memory, but why? Then I was like, what the fuck? It's supposed to just run. So it turns out Lua JIT doesn't support more than 4 gigabytes of RAM. Okay, let's see what can I do better then. So the only way is if I split the Lua JIT into more processes. So turns out I was just using one on my processor. So this MacBook has like 12 cores, and I was just using just one. Okay, so just an overview. Would that work? So I'll have the same file. It will start workers. Each one will work on one part of the file. They will report back to the master and output the result. So pretty simple still. I expected it to be 12 times faster. Yeah, let's see. So I won't show you too much of the code because it's already Thursday night. But just so you know, it's not that much different. So I just I'm using a fork join in this case. Again, Lua doesn't have this. You have to program yourself, which is not that hard. All this code is in GitHub if you're interested. So just get the file size and count how many CPUs, spread that's the fork. When you have your workers done doing their work, you will join and get the statistics, just format the stuff. If you're a worker, you just have got your file name, where you want to read, where it starts, where it ends, do your stuff. So basically that. Was it 12 times faster? Of course not. But it was quite better. So still 5 times faster. So, but I was lying. That was not exactly the same code, because let's go here. That's not important. I was reading, every processor was reading line by line, because I was lazy at the time and didn't want to do the stuff that I needed. So I did a version 5 where, well, really doesn't matter in this case, but it does. Each processor will get the start and read the entire batch and then do their calculations. Now it's way better. So 45 seconds, 8 times faster than the real comparison. It's still not the 12 that I expected, but yeah, really good. And this is when I hit the wall, because I was looking at the Lua community, and trying to find who tried to do that. And you run their code in my machine and always hit like 40, 42, 45, 48. So like, yeah, maybe that's the limit of the language. And that's not the case. So next optimization. So well, I still have the station names, right? So I still use a hash map. So how does a hash map work? It's a dynamic data structure. So when you hit some fill factor here, it will create another one, rehash everything, move to a bigger one. When it hits the limit again, it will create a new bigger one and do that until it stops. It has enough memory. It's a really memory-hungry data structure. I want to remove these rehashes because it takes time to remove things from memory. So it's better if you already start with the hash map where the station names are stored with enough space. So you just use whatever. And here, I actually didn't thought of this myself. I was looking at like, what did people do? And there's actually a tip in the challenge that you have at most 10,000 cities. So I use that information to start the hash map. So version 6, which is, I think it's the new, which is not, what? No, man, yeah. So basically, instead of doing something like local statistics, whatever, typo doesn't matter, I will not run this like this. I just started a hash map with enough space. A really small, I went to the version 6, right? No. Okay, there's a different thing here. So, yeah, to avoid these rehashes, again, how much do you think this improved?
12%.
Okay, 30 seconds. So yes, I already am pushing the boundaries here for a scripting language that's really small. It's like 33% better than the last version, and runs in 94% less time than the baseline. So only 6% of the baseline. Cool. We can do better. So there was another tip. So this is I got from looking into the C community, or I think it was the C community, and a guy thought, well, I didn't really read that, but the guy, well, saw this part. So in the file, you have like the measurement and just one decimal point. So instead of doing all these aggregations on a float, you can do that on an integer. Basically, if you just read the string, multiply by 10, you get an integer. Not exactly true. Like I had to write a parser myself, which is not that hard. Everybody could do that. Really, it's not a. I am which version? Version 7. Okay. So 7, and it's not really that different. It's called number. Yeah. You see, like in Lua, it's I think it's nice to do. It's like if I want to transform string to a number, I just do like to number, and then pass the string, and then that's it. It's really It's really comfortable. It's nice. You don't have to think much about it. But the guy who wrote this had to think about a bunch of stuff, like corner cases and how. And Lua is like JavaScript, so we have a number. It handles the int and float by itself. So the guy needs to think about all of this. I don't, because I know the format. So I just need to know if it's negative. Don't care much about the details. Look for a dot, whatever the position of the string this dot is. And then start multiplying by 10 until you get the number. So yeah, it doesn't. It isn't like everybody can do this. Like if you spend a few minutes, not today, on this. So I'll just show the improvements. Okay, now guess a number. How much does it run? Billion rows. Just Lua.
24 seconds.
Nice. 6.5 seconds. Okay, cool. Okay, now I was already really, really into it. But we can do better still. So if you think about my the architecture of the thing, is actually pretty wasteful because I'm creating one process for each CPU. What's likely to happen? That they all finish at the same time, and then the main start to getting and work by itself what everything is like waiting, doing nothing. So if I do maybe create more, I needed to think about how to schedule it better, but I don't know, and I didn't know. Want to look into that better, but what did I do? I just created like way more processes than I have more than CPUs. So whenever it was finishing, the main was already picking up and keeping everything busy. I also figured out that I was with the GC turned on up until now, and I didn't need it, so I just turned it off. There's also, I read about FFI, which is a foreign functional interface, something like that. I could call some C code, which I just did for the parsing. When I knew that it's an integer, like in the main file, but yeah, it doesn't matter because it didn't improve that much. I just wanted to put it there. Yeah, so, and that's the best change ever because it's the V8. So it was really at the end, and it was this change. So this like twice more processes. Okay, now one last guess.
2 seconds.
Okay, it's okay. No, I couldn't beat the Java community. No. So 2.8 seconds. That was the best that I could do at the time. So it's still really, really, really quick to process 1 billion rows, and so you don't. Yeah, it doesn't matter. What? No root? Yeah, of course, because I have a lot open. So let's just do. I'm using Hyperfine. It's running 10 times the billion row. So it's 10 times 10 billion records. So this is the only one that I will show you because the other ones just take too long. So it's like 10 billion processes. And of course, I checked if, with the result because doing the wrong thing really fast is really easy. So, Yeah. So yeah, 2.8 seconds. That's how it goes. Again, I'll put the repo at the end. But just for I think we're almost at, or maybe over the time. So this is the you can see the times, the versions, and the lines of code. If you're a data guy, don't kill me. I'm bad at dashboards as well. But I think at least it's nice to see like it doesn't have way more code. It's more complex, of course. But yeah, you can see how the times related to each other. There are improvements to go further, so I will work on this. Because this is it's a hobby, so doesn't matter. So if you, just to close it up, one thing that I still want to do is like if you think the processes are doing their thing, you send it back. So there are some serialization and deserialization going on. One thing that the Java community have better over Lua is that they have threads. Lua doesn't have threads per se. You have to do something else. It does what we call it's kind of like an event loop, but it's collaborative concurrency. So it throws back and forth. So it's just use one CPU. So if in threads you can share memory and then you don't have the third. So this would improve quite a lot. I still use hash maps, so maybe use some other data structure. Still would be interesting to avoid the sorting at the end. I still parsing the strings, so do some byte-wise operation, maybe some bit mask would improve. And I didn't use GPU. I don't even know if Lua can use GPU. So I will look into that. So that could be improvements. So test it further. Maybe we can get it down to 0.5, not 0. Yeah, so yeah, that's it. The repo is here if you want to have a look. It's on my name. Of course, mine's on my name. So yeah, that's basically that. Well, thank you for your patience and sorry if you made you sleep. But that's, well, at least you had a good rest.
Thank you, Felipe. Any questions? Yes, 2 questions. So you raise your first.
Yes, thank you. I was wondering, did you use any profiling tools to find out where actually time was being spent?
Yeah. No, no, there are, but yeah, I was quite new to Lua at the time, and so I did the most obvious thing. It was like taking the clock here and summing up. So I did it by myself to figure out where it was spending more time. So that guides, of course, a lot where you were spending your time. So I didn't show like the format Java map because since it happens at the end, it didn't matter. So most of the aggregation was good. So yeah, it was by hand. But there are tools. I just didn't.
Okay, and I was also wondering, when you parallelize the solution, how did you handle the boundaries? Because I imagine you're not always going to split exactly at a semicolon.
Yeah. Well, it's easier speaking than showing because in this case, yeah, you can indeed end up in the middle of a line. So what we're gonna do is like look ahead and try to find a break line, and that's when it will start. Because I asked in my architecture, again, I don't know how to say that, design, better. I assume that, well, the first that takes the first slice won't have anything before it. So whenever it ends, it just looks for the next line. And then the other one who takes it, if it ends up here, it will look for the next and start from there, from the next break line. So that was basically that. So it's the worker who does the work of figuring out where to really start. the main just roughly does that.
How long did it take to achieve this result?
I have no idea. Like maybe if we in the Slack kind of ways we can figure it out, but I think it was like a week or more. But yeah, it's not a job, so you do something in your free time, and yeah, it's more like an old man doing crosswords. Like let me do this challenge here. So,
Any other questions? Yes.
I'm a bit curious about the process. So was it more like kind of replicating what the Java people do? Like you see Java guys did this, how the hell am I supposed to do this in Lua? Or was it more like originating from Lua?
A mix of both, yeah. Because first I tried by myself until because you don't know if you're new to the language. I don't know where the boundaries are. Then when I hit the wall, then I figure out somewhere. As I said, like at some point I tried to look at other Lua codes. When I couldn't find Lua, then I went to other communities and see what they were doing. Try to replicate. In the case of the threads, wasn't possible. So just start processes. It was a mix of both. So.
Okay, thank you.
So another round of applause to Felipe. Thank you very much, and hope to see you soon. Bye-bye.